Welcome to the New South Wales court system, an integral part of the Australian legal system. This interactive presentation outlines some court procedures and the roles played by various people in courtrooms in New South Wales. There are several levels in the New South Wales state court system. Other states
This is a brief overview of the Open Court CD-ROM. What you're seeing at the moment is part of the introduction, just a series of slides that outline the different types of courts that are in New South Wales, the different levels, the jurisdiction, just to give a very brief overview so that in the main part of the resource, when we're looking at the actual cases, it's sitting in a context. Now, because this resource was not designed for people that were becoming lawyers, we needed to keep it very simple. So it was mainly designed for vocational students, adult learners that were doing courses and subjects such as accounting or firefighting or business admin that may require them to participate or be in a courtroom at some point, but it's not the main focus of their learning. So this CD-ROM was produced so that it could be packaged with their other course notes so that they, at least at a minimum, would know who's who in a courtroom, just a brief overview of the roles, and the people, the employees of the court, as well as other people, the defendant, the plaintiff, the lawyers, the barristers, maybe where they stand in the room. And so with that in mind, we did some scripting, and we came up with the idea that it would be set in a real situation. We wanted to use photographs so that it underscored the integrity, the believability of the situation based on real events as such, but we didn't want to go into all the detail of those events. And so these slides are basically just outlining criminal cases, civil cases. Some are local, some are at a district level. We wanted the resource, even though it was designed for New South Wales TAFE students, we wanted to acknowledge that there are other terms and procedures used in other states and territories. Just so, because we knew that the learners might be going interstate, or it just broadened the audience for the resource.
A local court may have a range of serious or less serious criminal cases.
Shot on location in the Downing Centre, so we took photographs of empty courtrooms basically, and then we photographed the actors in a studio and then placed them into the scene, and then obviously did the scripts that were developed in consultation with various subject matter experts, such as lawyers or solicitors, as well as the actual teachers that were delivering the course. So this is a reasonably old resource now. It was developed for a CD-ROM. So obviously CD-ROMs are not so common these days, so if this were to be redeveloped, it would more than likely be done in Flash, or I'm pretty sure this was done in Authorware or in Director.
I represent the Crown and may be referred to as.
So as you can see, we've got the little folders down the bottom. We look at 4 different cases, and we've clicked on the Crown Prosecutor. So he tells us what his role is. We can roll over his key terms and get a definition that's in context. So we wanted to just keep it nice and short. And then we can look at further areas of the courtroom.
I am the foreperson of the jury. The jury consists of 12 people who've been impanelled or called up for jury duty. Most people are called up for jury duty at some stage, although lawyers and certain other people are exempt. It is our task to consider the evidence presented in the court case and make a decision. Towards the end of the case, the judge will sum up the facts for us. We will then retire to another room and must arrive at a verdict based on these facts. Since this is a criminal case, we must reach a unanimous verdict. Every member of the jury must come to the same decision, either guilty or not guilty. If we decide the accused is guilty, we must be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt.
So pretty much every person, not every juror, but every person that you see in each of the courtrooms can be clicked. They give a little bit of information about who they are and what their role is, and the key terms can be clicked on
a man is on trial
for more information. And then there's other elements like the evidence.
This is evidence. In this case, the evidence is a video from the store security camera. Evidence may include documents, items of personal
So we wanted to
property,
give enough
and the testimony of
information
witnesses.
so that it was meaningful, but we didn't want to have the learners too distracted by the details of the case, since the main learning outcomes were related to the relationship between the characters or the participants in the courtroom, the employees, and what their role was.
I am the court monitor. My role is to take down a transcript of what is said in the court case. In this court, a transcript is made from a tape sound recording. Transcripts are available to the judge, lawyers and other interested parties from the court reporting branch.
So as I understand, this resource was packaged with learning materials for various subject areas for distance learners in TAFE, and because we used the Downing Centre as a location, we provided copies to them, and they told us that they were quite happy to use this resource in their juror induction program, because it did in fact serve to give background information and pretty much the same aims as our learners had. Find out who's who in the courtroom, just so that they're a little clearer as to what's going on.
This case was brought against me by the plaintiff. The plaintiff is claiming she was injured on my premises. I deny that the plaintiff's injuries were a result of my negligence. To defend this action, I have instructed a solicitor to act on my behalf and argue my case in court.
In this district court, a man is claiming the sum of $200,000 compensation for breach of contract, a civil case.
So obviously the learner might be guided by their teacher as to what cases might be more relevant to them.
I work as an administrative assistant and have been ordered to give evidence. I was served with a subpoena by the plaintiff and will be examined by the plaintiff's barrister and possibly cross-examined by the defendant's barrister if he chooses. I must swear on the Bible or give an affirmation that I will tell the truth. I can only testify to facts which are known by me to be true.
I am a solicitor. My client, the defendant.
I am the judge's associate. I pass documents between the judge and the lawyers, as well as looking after the evidence.
I'm a barrister. I'm appearing on behalf
So
of my
people
client,
were really happy with the screen design. I think the designer did a really great job in picking up on some of the shapes, colours, elements of the actual courtroom,
they do not participate,
and presenting it in a, we like that photorealistic look. Now this is the public, where there's a few questions that are asked. What is litigation, for example? And it's the same sort of format where they're given an answer, an audio answer, and access to a few simple definitions. We've got a glossary and just a couple of online links.